What made medieval cities vulnerable to sieges? Imagine living in a bustling medieval town surrounded by thick walls, markets filled with merchants, and narrow streets full of life. Now picture that same city under attack, trying to defend itself. What made these cities so easy targets for enemies? Let's find out. First, the way medieval city defenses were built often had weak spots. The main gates and access doors were the most vulnerable parts of the walls. Even though they were reinforced with towers, attackers knew exactly where to strike. They would try to break down the gates or tunnel underneath the walls to cause collapses. Once the outer defenses fell, the city was much more exposed to attack. Second, the size and layout of many medieval cities made it hard to fully surround them. Large cities needed huge armies to cut off all routes in and out. Without complete encirclement, defenders could sometimes sneak out or get supplies through secret tunnels, aqueducts, or even by sea if they were near water. Attackers often tried to burn farms and villages outside the city to starve the inhabitants into surrender. Third, inside the city, resources like food and water were vital. If supplies ran out, the city could fall quickly. Many towns had wells, cisterns, or stored food, but these could only last so long. If a siege dragged on 4 weeks or months, people might start to starve or become dehydrated. Sometimes attackers would break into aqueducts or destroy water sources to weaken the defenders. Fourth, disease was a serious threat during sieges. Crowded conditions inside the city walls, combined with poor sanitation and limited supplies, often led to outbreaks of sickness. These illnesses could wipe out many residents and weaken the city's ability to fight back. Attackers also faced disease risks, but they could stay outside and avoid the cramped conditions inside. Fifth, the defenders' military strength and tactics played a big role. Cities housed knights, soldiers, archers, and crossbowmen who could fight off attackers. They used siege engines like catapults and sometimes set fire to enemy equipment with burning oil or Greek fire. Secret gates and tunnels allowed quick strikes or escapes. But if enemies broke through the walls or gates, the defenders faced overwhelming danger. In the end, medieval cities were vulnerable because of weak points in their walls, difficulty in fully surrounding large towns, limited supplies, disease risks, and the limits of their military forces. These factors made sieges long, costly, and dangerous for everyone involved.